a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. Have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. This defense for the Steelers, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's another carry for Harris. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. That's swung out wide to Harris. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. The Patriots at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity that went by the wayside. But let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. On the give, this is Harris. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've gotten it to the 4 on this opening drive, but now they face a 3rd and goal. Here's Herbert. And they're going to get it. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. From the right hash, this from 33. And his kick is good. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. Well, they had the great field position to start that opening drive. They only get 3 out of it, but still they get 3. So maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well. Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on a defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch? They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack. Matthew Judon in there to take him down. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game. Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end. Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete. How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done. The Steelers send out their punter now. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone. Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one. Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right? Not one that I've ever met. Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down.
That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
They hand this off to Harris. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 67 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run. Here's Harris. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. From the 39, Herbert. Over the middle, complete. It's Harris. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They run again with Harris. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Harris. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They run for it with Harris. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Back to throw now in his own end zone. He's got a man complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's brought in by Harris. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he spikes it to stop the clock. And now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
Man, that is deflating going into the break. You're in a position with a chance to tie the game, but this kick is off the mark, and they're going to remain 3 points down heading into the break.
The final shot before the break for Herbert. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain there of 21 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan. Go!
They run with Harris. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Back to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Here's Harris. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run again with Harris. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
He gets it complete to Harris. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Herbert. He finds his man, complete. It's Harris. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Now back to throw. Fires the out route and completes it to Harris. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove. Because any guy's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. On the return, here's Agnew. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Patriots take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
From the gun, Herbert on third down. And this is going to be intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Midge used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game.
Ready, set.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Pats are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Throwing, Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. But Charles, in a tie game, you always wonder who's going to be making the big plays. Right now, it's not the offensive players. We're seeing these defenses step up and take control. Both of the last 2 drives have ended with interceptions.
They are certainly dictating this game, aren't they? Now it's going to come down to which offense can follow their defense's lead and step up in the clutch themselves.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. On the draw, it's Harris. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. A give to Harris. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that
point. So it's the Patriots who will have first crack at it as we're back underway here in overtime. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run with Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. First throw in overtime for Herbert. And he's going to drop this down to Harris, middle of the field. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. He's got Harris running the slant. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 38-yard line. Give them 18 on the play.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 30. Now a timeout called for by the defense. That's their second and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Now Herbert. Finding Henry here on the crossing route. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 17-yard line. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Herbert. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And this one is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game. But, hey, they got enough points to get the job done. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win. And in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So for New England, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town.